Hello, if you don't already know, my name is Olga and I'm here today to work you through a typical question that would appear on the transfer test so that there is knowledge, understanding and confidence that can be built in order to do these questions in the future. I hope that it helps. I hope that the child is enjoying the videos and that maybe you are too, with some maybe knowledge that you haven't come across in a number of years. So without further ado, let's get stuck in and we'll see what we've got today. Okay, so here's a question around probability. The question is, Jane has 31 socks in a drawer. 10 socks are red, 17 socks are blue, and the rest are green. She picks out a sock at random from the drawer. Look at the 5 outcomes below. So we've got various outcomes listed of what Jane can pick out. And then the question is, put the 5 outcomes in order from impossible to most likely by writing the correct letter in each of the spaces below. The outcome E has been written in for you. So we can see that E is a situation which is possible and quite likely, but not the most likely in the situation. So we have these outcomes and we need to place the letter in each of the spaces ranging from impossible to most likely. Now at this stage you might want to pause the video and take it offline, work through the question, see how you get on, and then check back and see if you got it right. Okay, so moving off to the side so we can have some room to play with. The key thing to understand and to learn about probability is how we actually work it out. So what the child needs to know is probability is either, and I've put in 2 potential ways of looking at it because people use different terminology, but it's either the desired outcomes over the possible outcomes or the chance of success over the number of options available. Personally, I prefer the chance of success over the number of options, but I know many people prefer desired outcomes over possible number of outcomes. And really it's a case of taking one of those and sticking to it, and whenever probability comes up in the test, getting this down on paper so that you know what you're dealing with, and then you can take it from there. And what I would always recommend for the child is to write that equation down very quickly so that if they get confused, once they get into the detail, they've got that and they can refer back to that. So taking the question, we're just going to work through them then. We're going to work out the probability for each of the scenarios. So we've got outcome A. We've got Jane picks a red sock. Now we can see that there are 10 red socks, so it's going to be 10 all over the potential of 31 socks in the drawer. So that's the number of options. So there's a potential of 31 socks being chosen, and the potential of getting a red is 10. So for B, she picks a blue sock, so we're going to look at blue. So for the blue sock, we've got, we can see here that 17 of the socks are blue. So it's quite simply 17 out of 31 is blue. For C, we've got a green sock. So it's going to be green. The probability that she picks a green, now we can see here that the rest are green, it says. So we know there are, taking it off to the side, we know there are 10 socks red, 17 socks blue, that's 27. We know there's a total of 31 and the rest are green, so that means green must be 4. So a little bit of maths going on here, just as a side, on top of the probability, but it's not complicated, and if there's a confidence there it should be okay. So for green we have 4 out of 31. For outcome D, I'm going to write out space, but that's fine, picking a black sock. Now when we look at the question, there are no black socks. There's blue, there's green, there's red, but there are no black. So in that case then, there's no chance of a black sock being chosen. And then for outcome E, and I'm just going to take this down here, for outcome E, she picks a red or a green, so red or green. And what you do in that case is you add the probabilities. So what I would say to one of my kids who was doing it is almost like imagine all the green have turned red, because it's going to be the same probability of choosing either or. So we then add together the 10 socks which are red and the 4 socks which are green, and we get 14. So that gives us 14 desired outcomes, or 14 chances of success over the 31. So there we have the numbers of probabilities worked out for each of the scenarios that was in the question. And what we have to then do is translate it back into the line that we're asked to. So the impossible one, which we know is the one which has a 0 chance of success, so that becomes a D. In terms of ordering these, we can see that we're left with a 4, a 17, a 10 and a 14. So we're going to have the 4 is next in the order. Oh, sorry, apologies. But that will be the C. Then we've got the next one. I'm just looking here. We've got the A, which is a 10. We've got the E, which is a 14, which is already done for us here, so that's right, and that's a bit of comfort that we know we're doing the right thing. And then finally the B, which is the most likely scenario because it has 17 out of 31. So I hope that helps, and I hope that gives you the confidence to deal with the probability question, and I'll look forward to speaking to you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and speak later. Thank you.